retreat and took almost 20 of my brokers and from all over the country and had them all fly out to a very random place, Montana. And I've got people coming from New York, Florida, Texas, Hawaii, California, all over Colorado, and they're all like, why Montana? And I'm like, I have no clue, but we're gonna go check it out together, right? And they had a day of hanging out at Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, went to the hot springs. We almost got ran over by some buffaloes. I get 2 wins. So, all right, there we go. And so we had a great time, and all the ladies now are asking, so that is our retreat. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna put one together for them too. So this is, but I'm excited to be here. Every so often I tour the country. As Aaron mentioned, I have about 1,000 licensed holders across the country, and I have 80 senior brokers. These are 80 agency owners. Think of them as 80 Starbucks owners, right? That I have the privilege to work with and lead our organization with, and really look to build a new industry. And the reason why you see building a new industry in our presentation is because every so often in every industry, a company gives birth and changes the way that industry operates. We saw it with Amazon, we've seen it with Uber, we've seen it with Airbnb, we've seen it in all lines of industries. The only industry that has not evolved, that has not changed for the better, is the financial services industry. And this is why our mission as a company is to provide financial education and to build this new industry for people. So, share with you a little bit about, let's see if I do this right. There we go. Okay. So first off, a little bit about us as a company. Our parent companies are Aegon and Transamerica. Aegon has been in business now for almost 200 years. They are top 5 insurance and pension plan companies in the world. And a little bit over 20 years ago, Aegon made one of the largest purchases in financial services by acquiring Transamerica. And Transamerica is our parent company in the United States. So if anyone's ever been to San Francisco, or you've watched any of the movies or shows, you've seen that landmark, iconic building pop up. That is our Transamerica building, our parent company here in the U.S. Who we are is World Financial Group, WFG. We are the distribution channel to Transamerica and Aegon. What that means, in other words, we are the Amazon, we are the Costco in financial industry that are able to distribute financial products and services. So we're the ones that are sitting down with families, we're the ones that are helping people. They manufacture products and provide us technology and compliance support, and WFG is the one that goes out there and really is able to make the difference for people. But I did not get started because of Aegon or Transamerica or even WFG. The reason why I chose to get started with our company was because of our core values that I saw that we have as a company. And what I mean by that is, very rare that you find an organization that talks about their values and their core values up front. And I got started because 18 years ago, I saw a group of people that shared the same values that I did growing up as a child for my parents. It's now 30 years, I just turned 36 years old last month, and 30 years that my parents divorced. As immigrants coming to this country, they did not speak the language, did not have money. Financially, they did not know how the rules of money works here in the U.S., and both my parents are hardworking people. My mom worked in downtown Los Angeles in the clothing district 7 days a week. My dad ran a small coffee shop and a discount store in West Los Angeles, but neither of them grew up with money or knew how money worked, but one thing they did have that they taught me were values. And one of the things that I grew up with is faith. I believe in God. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe you and I were put in here for a reason. And I don't remember who said it earlier, but I strongly believe that when you pursue something that is your passion, that is self-fulfilling. Passion is selfish, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you pursue something with a purpose, you are now in the service You know, and I heard in our company people talking about, I want to help my mom, I want to help my spouse, I want to help my children, I want to help the community, I want to help the Latino community, I want to help the Black community, I want to help people. And when I heard that, I said, these are family-oriented people that want to do good things. Maybe I belong there. You know, if you ever wanted to do something where you have full ownership, you know, tell me one thing. Ultimately, what ownership do you have in our jobs? None. And I meet so many people today in my last 18 years that we've brought on board and recruited thousands of people. And most of them, almost all of them, they want to be able to do something that is theirs at the end of the day. You know, you think about, we work so hard all of our lives, but what are we doing? We're working hard building someone else's business. And I look at it, if I'm going to work hard, why not work hard and build my own business? Why not work hard and leave a legacy at the end of the day? Because when you're able to build something that you own, you're also able to transfer that as a legacy to the next generation. You know, you look at dreaming. I love that dream thing that they did back there, right? Where everybody writes down a dream. When did we stop dreaming? I just want you to think about that. Most of us, you know, there's a saying that say most people die at the age of 25. We just don't get around to burying them until they're 65. And the reason being is because most people gave up on their dreams at 25 years old. You step foot into the real world, and then life happens. And I always say life is lifing, right? Life is lifing. And we become civilized, right? We begin to think smaller. We begin to accept things for the way they are. And I wanted to be in a group where there's integrity and leadership and teamwork and recognition, right? Doing right by others, being honest, being truthful, being respectful in people, right? And loving and caring on the people that you work with. So when I saw these core values, I said, man, these are people that I can get along with. I didn't join a financial services company. I joined a company that has these values at the forefront. Does that make sense? That's something I want to be a part of. That's a group of people I want to work with. That's a group that I know has my back, and I'm going to have their back, and we cannot fail together. And then when you mix it with our mission and our vision as a company, our mission is to provide financial education for everybody. Doesn't matter what background you're from, doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, how old you are, how much money you have, how much money you don't have. We truly want to provide financial literacy, and we truly believe that everyone deserves financial education. But that's not the way our world is today, and I'm going to show you some stats on that. And our vision, here's what I will tell you. Our mission will only be accomplished by our vision. And if you look at that, our vision is to empower people to be an entrepreneur and take ownership and control of their life. Because I cannot help everybody by myself. My team of 1,000 licenses cannot help everybody by themselves. And that is the reason why we have that vision to empower people to become entrepreneurs on our platform with us. So, why are things the way they are? If you look today, unfortunately, we live in very challenging times. You know, the world today is very uncertain. The financial crisis, our world just being in a crisis by itself. What do I mean by that? 68% of Americans say that they are not on track to retire. 68%. That's almost 7 out of 10. Here's one thing I did not want to be. I did not want to be a statistic. And if you think about it, most of us are. Now, what's the solution to that? That's where we come in. Where we can help people understand how money works and help them make money better work for them. Here's the interesting part. We all know how to work for money. But do we know how to get that money to work for us? Something important we all need to learn. Here's the other thing. 60% of Americans get diagnosed with an illness with one of the leading causes being due to financial stress. Think about it. How do we live in our modern era today? But illness and sickness, diseases are higher than ever. Cancer, heart attack, stroke is more today than it's ever been before. Where does it come from? Studies always show it comes from what? Stress. What is the number one stress every family holds today? Money. Finances. And let's be honest, none of us are stressing that we have too much of it. We're stressing that we don't have enough of it. Right. Is it true or not? Right? So what's the solution to that? Help build a solid financial foundation where we can protect our Now, these are some financial challenges that people are going through. But what about in our career and our life? 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The average American is 1 to 2 paychecks away from not being able to pay their bills. Let me ask you, for the next 30 days, you didn't get your next 2 paychecks, what would happen to your family? Wow. Just think about that for a moment. So what's our solution to that? We need to have multiple sources of income. We need to make more money while we can, when we can. Here's the one thing. How many of you know somebody who is in debt? How many of us know people that are in debt? Yes? It's not a trick question, I promise you. Why do people live in debt for 20, 25, 30 years of their life? Because they try to pay off their debt with their current income. And you cannot pay off your debt with your current income. It is your current income that put you in that debt. Because it's not enough. If I want to pay off my debt, not in 20 years or 30 years, modern day slavery is to your debts. If I don't want to be able to have to pay that back over the course of 30 years, I can do it in the course of 2 or 3 years by having multiple sources of income, which is what we call multi-handed income. And lastly, you look at 84% of people want to work somewhere where their work matters, where they're making a difference, where there's a purpose. So one of the things I always tell people is, you want to be certain in uncertain times. In fact, the more certain person always comes ahead. Uncertain times will always be there. But who's more certain in those times? Who's more confident? Who has more clarity? Who's in more control in those times? So, I believe change is possible. I strongly believe that change is possible. How? We believe in financial education. We believe that you've got to learn how to manage your own money. Why do I say that? Our future today is not in the hands of our employer, and it should not be in the hands of your union or the government. It is neither in the hands of the bank nor your broker. Your future's in your hands. This is why part of our mission is to empower people to understand how money works and for them to learn how to get money to better work for them. Now, if I share that with you, let me share with you what we call the 3 rules of money. Is it a little blurry or is that just the eyes? A little blurry? Okay. I'll still explain it to you. Don't worry. I will make sure I clear it up for you. Okay. There's what we call the 3 rules of money. Fix it. If only you could fix my eyesight like that. Tweak a couple stuff. Boom, 2020, go back. Okay. So let me explain to you what's called the 3 rules of money. The 3 rules of money are the most fundamental, basic things of how money works. This is what we educated huge families on. Rule number 1 is understanding something called compound interest. Rule of 72. Albert Einstein called this the 8th wonder of the world. What is that? You take the number 72, you divide it by the interest, and it equals the number of years it takes for us to double our money. Give you an example. If I have money somewhere at a 4%, that's a 4% rate of return. What does that mean? 72 divided by 4 equals 18. It'll take 18 years for my money to double. So if I have $10,000 today, and Haley that's earning 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%, 4% every year, 18 years from now, Jason, my 10,000 will double to 20,000. And if I go another 18 years, my 20,000 will double to how much? 40,000. Does that make sense? Basic math. What if I'm earning an 8% interest? 72 divided by 8 equals 9. Money now is going to double every how many years? Say it out loud. 9 years. So if I have $10,000 today, 9 years from now, it's 20. Another 9 years, it's 40. Another 9 years, it's 80,000. And what if I'm earning 4 and 8 combined? 12%. 72 divided by 12 equals 6. Money now doubles every 6 years. Here's what I'll tell you. 4, 8, 12, they all exist. Why isn't anybody teaching me this? Why should they? As long as we don't know, the number 1 place we all put our money, say it out loud, where is it? Bank. How's the bank making money? Getting compound interest off of our money. I put my money in the bank, get less than 1%. They take it, invest it somewhere else, getting 8 or 9 or 10%. Compound. They leverage it. I put my money in the bank, get less than 1%. When I need a credit card, they lend my own money back to me, charging me 18%. Here's something. You've always known about compounding interest, but it's always worked against you in your debts. Why can't I get out of debt? Why does it take me 30 years to pay off debt? Because compound interest is not working for me. My money's not working for me. My money's working what? Against me. Compound debt. So instead of building compound wealth, I'm paying compound debt. Is this making sense? Yes. Rule 2. So the first rule here is about accumulating money. In fact, when you're building wealth, it happens in 3 phases. The first phase is get the money to grow, get it to compound, get a good rate of return. The second rule is how it grows. And when I grow money, I ultimately, in phase 2, I want to protect that money. Now there's 3 ways to grow money. Fixed, variable, or index. This one has no numbers, it's just a chart, you can get a better idea on it. Well, what does fixed, variable, and index mean? Fixed accounts are typically your bank accounts. Your savings, your checking CDs. What am I normally getting? Less than 1%. The good part about a fixed account is it's guaranteed, it's safe. The downfall is there is no growth. I'm not earning 6, 7, 8%. If I want to earn those returns, normally where am I going? Stock market, my 401k. Well, what am I getting over there? These are known as variable accounts. Variable now meaning it's going to vary with the stock market. Stock market goes up, you go up. Stock market goes down, you go down. What's the good part? I have the growth of the market. What's the bad part? I have no protection from the market. I have no safety from the stock market. Hence, the third place, which is what we do, index accounts. These are a hybrid of the first 2. What do I mean? What's good about the first one? My money's protected. What's good about the second one? My money grows. What happens in the third one? Both. In an index account, if the stock market goes up, you go up. But when the stock market goes down, you're protected, you're guaranteed no loss. Market goes back up, you go up. Market goes down, you're protected, no loss. Everybody see that? Market goes back up, I'll go up. Market goes down, I'm protected, no loss. So, in rule 1, I want to accumulate my wealth, grow it. In rule 2, I want to protect that growth. And rule number 3, depending where you take the money out, it is going to get taxed differently. What do I mean? If you grew your money in tax now accounts, checking, savings, CDs, stocks, mutual funds, if you grew your money in those accounts, when you take your money out, you now have to pay what's called capital gains tax. And if any of you kept up recently, our wonderful president proposed to take that tax up to 44.6%. Just so you know. Now, if you're someone who has money in the tax later bucket, which is what? All of your governmental retirement plans. So if you're in here and you're sitting on a 401k, 403b, 457, TSP, IRA, any of these are all governmental retirement plans. How many of you have those? How many of you have them? You just don't know. They take something out of your paycheck, you're just not sure. Right? That happens too. Ask the client. I haven't met with a client in a few years, but when I used to sit down with clients, I used to go, you got a retirement plan? He goes, I don't know. How would I know? I go, well, do they take something out of your paycheck? He goes, they take a lot out of my paycheck. I'm like, okay, well, let's figure it out, right? But in these tax later accounts, here's what's happening. You ready? Here's what happens. When you take the money out, you now have to pay ordinary income tax. Here's the problem. Any of you have a crystal ball to know what taxes will be 10 or 15 or 20 years from now? No. Do you know what will happen to taxes during your retirement? No. If I had to ask you, in the future, do you believe taxes are going to go down or go up? What would you tell me? Go up. So let me ask you a question then. Why in the world potentially more than today.
Right.
So you know what that's like? That's like I come to you and say, hey, let me borrow money. And you write me a check. And then I go, hey, how much interest are you going to charge me? And you go, I'm not going to tell you that right now. When are you going to tell me? I'll tell you later when you come to pay me the money back. Would any of you borrow money like that? No. Then why do you invest like that? Why do all of our friends invest like that? So what do I want to do? Get into tax-free accounts. See, the third phase of money, when I take money out, I'm either going to pay tax now, I'm either going to pay taxes later, or I'm never going to pay taxes, and it's 100% tax-free. Now, if I had to ask you, would you want to have your money in tax now? Would you want to have your money in tax later? Or would you want to have your money in tax-free? What would you tell me?
Tax-free.
How simple is this? In 5 minutes, I probably went over a little bit more about finances than anybody's probably ever gone over with me in a lifetime. When I saw this 18 years ago, I said, wait a second. My people don't know this. My family doesn't know this. I didn't learn this stuff in school. They're not teaching this stuff. I don't even know if accountants know this. Today I find out accountants don't know any of this. CPAs don't know any of this. Lawyers don't know any of this. You know what they know? They know what they know. So, when you look at these 3 rules, right, this is where we understand small changes can make big money. Why do we say that? Spending is a habit, so is saving. What if you could make small changes to your spending habits and start saving $10 a day? You know what $10 a day is? It's $300 a month. How many of you would agree that almost everybody can save $10 a day? You know what that is? That is money slipping between the cracks. $5 here, $8 there, $12 here, $3 there, $8 there, $9 there, $20 there. You know what that is? Let me tell you what that is. $300 a month, $10 a day, earning an average of 8% compound in 30 years, you have almost $500,000 saved. If I'm saving $20 a day, $600 a month, same 8%, 30 years from now, I'm sitting a little shy of $1 million. Little money adds up. Here's what happens. Here's the common denominator I find. Most people I talk to, I don't have money to save. I go, really? Can you save $10 a day? I go, yeah, I can. I go, great. And you can save $300 a month. You could have $500,000 20 or 30 years from now. Here's what I know. My parents have been in this country for 37 years now. If somebody would have taught that to my parents, today my parents would have anywhere between $500,000 to almost $1 million. So why is that important? There's a gap that's happening in our country today. And I want you to pay attention to this chart right here. This purple line right here that you can barely see, that is 50% of the population, 50% of our population only holds this much wealth in the country. This much wealth in the country. Another 40% hold this much. So notice this. This is 90% of our population holds only this piece of the wealth. You know what that means? The other 10% is above us. 90% hold minority of the wealth. The majority hold the minority of the wealth. The minority of the people, which is what? The top 10%, the top 1%. Look at this. 90 to 99 is right here. And this is the top 1% right here. The top 10% hold the majority of the wealth of our country. Why do the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? They understand how money works. By the way, not only do they understand how money works, why is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer? First of all, understand, you and I live in America. Many of our families fought to come to this country. Why? Land of the free, opportunity. Well, in that opportunity, understand, United States is the leading country in the number of millionaires. We make up 39% of the millionaires in the world, here in the US. And of that, 9% of our population are millionaires. That means if I look in this room, 9% of you statistically can be a millionaire. 9%. That is not a bad ratio. That is not a bad ratio. Now, why do I say that? Thank God we don't live in a country like China. Why? China's got a lot more population than us, but they only have 5 million millionaires. Only what? 0.5%, not even 1% of their population makes it to be a millionaire. Look at these countries. Japan, 3.5% of their country. Germany, 4% of their country. You're in the US, almost 10% of our population will be millionaires. You know what 10% is? 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. That's a great ratio compared to other countries. Now, almost every single one that is a millionaire today, you think they did it from their job? No. Tell you exactly how they did it. Most people are in debt. Most people take 25, 30 years to pay off their debt because they live in a world of what we call single-handed income. Now, what is single-handed income? I grew up in my culture of go to school, get good grades, go to a good college, get a good degree, so I can get a good what? Get a good job. Because there's nothing wrong with that, but what ends up happening is I'm an employee for all of my life. This is single-handed income, right here. Single-handed meaning you only make income off of your own efforts. So here's what I found out about an employee. All you're doing is you're exchanging your time for money. Think about it. Anytime I ask someone, how much do you make? They don't even tell me what they make per year. They don't even tell me what they make per month. You know what they say? I make $28 an hour. That's their response. I go, well, how much do you make? I make $28 an hour. I make $20 an hour. Why? Because we have been trained to think in how much I get paid per hour. Does this make sense? So, if I want to make more money, I need to do what? I need to put more time. This is why you find for employees the quality of life is lessening. Mental health is lessening. Confidence is lessening. Why? Because an 8-hour job doesn't pay me enough anymore. And we all only have 24 hours in a day. So the challenge you'll find for most people is, I need to go get another job. I need to work more hours. I need to do overtime. Why? Money follows time. Money follows time. So if I put more time, I'll make more money. That's single-handed. Some of us go off and become self-employed. What is self-employed? I'm employed by myself. I don't work for anybody. I'm my own boss. I work for myself. Who are these? Doctors, lawyers, your barber, your hairstylist, a fitness trainer, anyone who's an independent contractor or has a small LLC or a small business. They are what? Self-employed. That was my father. That was my mom. They were employed by themselves. So as long as they showed up, their business ran. If they did not show up, their business did not run. Does this make sense? Yeah. So what happens here? You are still exchanging your time for what? For money. You're a doctor. You can't take a 1-month vacation. Who's going to see your patients? You're a barber. You can't take a 1-month vacation. Who's going to see your clients? You don't make money. The only way you make money, show up and go to work. That's single-handed income. Time is limited. Life is limited. I'm in a rat race. Every day is the same thing. Doesn't change. 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week. Let's be honest. Is this true or not? I live in a life of single-handed. What is multi-handed income? Multi-handed income means when income is not just off you. How does that happen? Becoming a business owner. Becoming an entrepreneur. Here's what I know. Entrepreneurs leverage other people's time. And don't look at it as a bad way. Why is it okay for your boss to leverage your time and he gets to live his life while you do the work, but it's not okay for us to be an entrepreneur and leverage other people's time? Multi-handed income is the entrepreneur who now has a system in place, like a McDonald's, like a Starbucks, like a Uber, like an Amazon, like a real estate broker, like any of these guys that have what? Other people working with them and for them. So there were two very important things for me. You see, now you have people making money for you. I'll give you this example. I'll use myself as an example real quick. Aaron mentioned I have 1,000 licensed people today. Let's not go with 1,000. Go with 20. Jason, if you've got 20 guys working with you and for you, you only have 24 hours in a day. Maybe you work 8 hours of it. But if you got 20 guys working for you, and they all put 8 hours a day, you just got yourself 160 more hours in a day. Does this make sense? Yeah. I look at it as if I have 1,000 licensed people working with me, and they all just put 2 hours a day, I got myself 2,000 more hours every day. Leveraging time. You see, on this side, I have no freedom of time because my income is based off my hands. Over here, I can build freedom of time because my income is off of multi-hands. Does this make sense? It's a whole different perspective to look at making money. So all those guys that I showed you that have become millionaires and that statistic and those numbers, see, that's a statistic I do want to be. I want to be in that 8.8%. I want to be in that 10% of people. But I know that that's not going to happen here. I understand that that's going to happen here. And eventually becoming a what? An investor. Where now you have money making money for you. So when I looked at our business model, I love that. Life is too short to work for a living. Alright? Powerful. So when I looked at our business model, we have a hybrid business model. We took the best of the best, and that's where WFG came from. What do I mean by that? First off, we have a franchise model like McDonald's and Starbucks. What did I tell you? Every senior marketing director, which I have 80 of them today, and we're developing 100 of them this year. We've started a campaign, a strategy, a focus, that we're going to develop 100 brokers, 100 agency owners this year. We're actually going to promote one of them today. Yeah. So, we took the franchise model of McDonald's and Starbucks, how someone can start their own McDonald's, start their own Starbucks. I can start my own financial agency, and it doesn't cost me as much as it does to start those. Number two, I had to find the right industry. Anytime you want to make good money and you want to do something big, first thing is find the right industry. And the industry that I saw, financial services. This is the largest industry in the world. This is a $109 trillion industry. What I learned, money is in the money business. Money's in the money game. By the way, financial industry is larger than retail and real estate combined. That's how big our industry is. Then the third thing I had to find, first was the right industry. Sorry, the second thing I had to find. First was the right industry. Second thing I had to find was the right company that is going to allow me, give me a model to build multi-handed income. Why do I say that? I can go get my license and go work with JP Morgan. The license we have, you can work with Schwab. You can work with Morgan Stanley. You can work with any of these guys. You know the problem there? You're single-handed. You're an FA, which is a financial advisor. You are not allowed to build your own agency and have multi-handed income. What I loved about WFG and our business model is that once I found the right industry, I had to find the right company that gives me a brokers and agents model like real estate and mortgages. What does real estate do? They got a broker, and then they have what? A ton of agents. Yes or no? What do they do in mortgages? You have a broker, and then you got a bunch of loan officers, mortgage guys. What's our model? You You've got a senior marketing director, an agency owner, and then a bunch of licensed guys. I had to find the right industry, then I had to find the right company that gives me multi-handed business model. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I got really excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
You seem real excited, but on the inside. So, let's talk about how we make money then. Someone comes in, less than 30 days to get licensed. Right now, the average in my organization, someone gets licensed within 2 weeks. Worst case, 3 weeks. Getting licensed is not hard. We put you through a crash course, we give you an instructor, we give you a study course. Easy. I've got people passing right now, 60, 70, 80 people a month right now passing. This is how this year we'll finish the year, about 2,000 licensed people. But once I'm licensed and I help a family, understand this. Let's say our average family saves about $500 a month. Family, husband and wife, right? They save about $500 a month. If I take 500, multiply it by 12, that is 6,000, and then I multiply it by your contract level. That gives you a commission. What do I mean? Entry level, you're a training associate or a training agent. You're at 30%. 30% of 6,000, you get paid almost $2,000 helping one client. How many hours you work at your job to make $2 grand? Here, one client, one family. You're an associate with us, an agent here at 45%. 45% of 6,000, it's almost $3,000 helping one client, one family.
Fired up.
If I'm a marketing director, you heard Annie come up here and say, by God's will, this month she's going to finish her marketing director promotion. Been with us for only 5 months, she said. In those 5 months, she's now moving to marketing director, helps the family save 500 times 12 is 6,000. 6,000 times 62% makes 3,700. I actually think she'll retire sooner than 3 years. And you become an agency owner, which is a senior marketing director, at 80%, you're not making 4,800 helping one client. This is you helping families yourself. Now, what if you became a senior marketing director with us, a broker, an agency owner, and just had 5 agents with you? That's it. Just 5 licensed people with you. Not 1,000, not 500, not 100, just 5. And all of you are helping do $1,000 of savings every month, which is what? 2 families. If the average family saves 500, what if they're all helping 2 families a month? Everybody following me? Well, watch this. You yourself, personally helping families, that'll make you about $10,000. 1,000 times 12 is 12,000. 80% of 12,000 is 9,600, so you make about 10,000. Now this is where the multi-handed comes in. If I have 5 people licensed with me, those 5 agents all help 2 families each. That will make you about $21,000 as well. Combined, 31,000. That's a $370,000 year income. You want to talk about making good money? Money's in the money business. Right industry, right company. Single-handed, moving to multi-handed. This is powerful. Now, as I say this, I'm going to take a quick pause over here. Why? Because I'm talking about senior marketing director and I'm talking about agency owner. We have my 79th, right? My 79th senior marketing director being promoted here today. And it just happened to be normally this is not in our presentations, but this one's getting added to our presentation today. But this is a big one. I'm excited for that. He is probably the most loved senior marketing director in my organization. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves hanging out with him. Everybody loves partying with him. It's awesome. Right? But he is, I gotta tell you, article that we got paid, he got a commission for almost $20,000. A newly promoted senior marketing director holds all the values that we were talking about. David and Melanie Correa. We call them pops, right? But I just told him right now, I said, you're doing good, kid. Right? And every time I finish, we're at a convention, and I'll speak in front of like thousands of people. He'll see me later, and he goes, good job, kid. Good job. But, and I'm excited for you guys. I know you shared your testimony earlier, but why don't you just share what's on your heart, how you feel, this milestone, and what you see in the future coming up, and let me know if I can borrow some money, man.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for coming. My brother from the neighborhood. So, well, can I get the hands of people that are in the business? See, what it was they knew how much I made that cycle. So, I made so much. They already was you know, so it's kind of unbelievable. That's why Aaron spoke. He goes, if you go back to the post office and you say you made that in one cycle, one's not even open yet. This is the beauty of that. And it's possible. It's very possible. That's the beauty of it. And again, retired, doing this business, loving this business because it's helping each one of them. That money is just the concentration of helping people. Those people have strategies. They will be good for life. Maintain that little strategy. You do your 401ks, but if you do this strategy, Johnny told you, tax-free, it's just amazing. And I just want to say, here with my lovely wife,
Sometimes when I hang out with Aaron, not sometimes, almost all the time now. I'm hanging out with your dad than you, bro. Alright, so let me ask you something. Sharing what I just shared. We all have an option in life. This is a very powerful thing here. Would you rather shrink your dreams to fit your income or increase your income to fit your dreams? I heard that 18 years ago in my presentation. And I said, I don't want to be one of those guys who shrinks my dreams to fit my income. I want to increase my income. I want to get to multi-handed. I want to build a business. I want to get into this company and see what I can do and what I'm made of. So I share that why life is all about choices. There are 4 things I want to finish off here with you. Number 1, if you're looking for freedom of time, freedom of life, then you got to increase your knowledge and build multiple sources of income. If you're looking to better and have flexibility, more time with family, more time with kids, that happens as an entrepreneur, then you got to start building a business in the financial education industry and become your own boss. Ownership. Remember that, ownership. How powerful that is. To own something that is yours. Third, you want a solid lifestyle. I think we all want these things, yes or no? Right? Then you got to enjoy the benefits of building an organization in many cities and opportunities to travel the world with us. You know, in a few months, I take 300 people. After this, actually, on Tuesday, I have a really hard job for a few days after. I have to go to the Dominican Republic and do a site visit for 3 or 4 days of a 5-star resort that we're taking 300 of our teammates and their spouses and their kids and grandkids and their parents in September to celebrate all of their hard work and everything they've been doing for families. And lastly, if you remember what I said about a purpose, this is somewhere where you and I can have a purpose of making a difference in people's lives. So I say that. Why? They're passing you out right now. If you're a guest with us, they're giving you what's called a business review card. In that review card, you give us feedback on how you feel of the information shared with you. And I know that when I first took a look at our business, I either, number one, wanted to take a look at this as a client. You might be in here and say, you know what, I want to take a look at this as a client first. I want to learn more about these financial strategies, these index accounts, compound interest, tax-free accounts for my family. How do I do that? Or you might want to take a look at the business. Now, real quick, pay attention to me. Look up here real quick, don't worry about that real fast. Because what I'm going to tell you is vital. Our business is not like a traditional business where you invest $10,000, $30,000, $100,000 to start that business. Our business is a one-time $125 to start our business. It doesn't go to us. That goes to World Financial Group. Does all of our administrative to set your agency up in financial services. Yeah, I know, $125. Then you invest a little bit, $200-300 to get a state license. But you just saw you help one client, you're making all that money plus one. The bigger picture is worth a lot more than the small hurdle in front of you. Or you might be somewhere in here like I was, that I said, I want to know more about both. I want to sit down, I want to get my own finances in order, I want to get this business started, I'm going to give it, and here's what I'm going to tell you. There are 3 kinds of people. First type is, I'm going to try. Second type is, I'll do my best. And the third type is, I'll do whatever it takes for my family, as long as it's legal and ethical and moral. I'm not the guy that's going to try. I'm not the guy who's going to give my best. Sometimes your best is not enough. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I'm going to do whatever it takes to take my family to that finish line. As I know, you're also the same. So, I appreciate you for listening to me today and hearing our story. I challenge you and urge you to take that next initial step with us, right? So if you want to take about a minute or 2, you can fill out that review card. Those options are there at the bottom, right? And I'll leave you with this closing line from Bill Gates that said, if you're born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, that's your mistake. Why? The first part of that phrase is not my choice. The second part of that phrase is by choice. So I invite you to be part of our business platform. And as you see up there, together, we can definitely build a better future. So I applaud you for joining us today. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand it back to our next presenter.
Is that guy a stud or what?
Response, keep it moving, all right? I'm fired up. I want to read a couple more dreams. We have our dream jar. Again, if you haven't done that yet,
guys for the next couple hours, so super fired up. No. This person wrote a letter. No. Come on. Leave it to Beaver lifestyle. Family. All right, leave it to Beaver. Got it. All right. Gotta put a business plan together for Leave it to Beaver. All right. We have another raffle, and we want to raffle off a couple more things. First thing is, it's going to be a Transamerica, one of our strategic partners in business, as well as, I'm making a mess over here. And the pen, beautiful notebook. Can I get the first ticket? You guys know the rules. We're going to sing together. 3, 3, 3. So you guys know it. 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2. 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2. 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2. Shaker was going to start already shaking again. Anybody 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2? Alright. Be the person that's shy to come, claim your gift. 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. Yeah! Walking by with the notebook in the beginning, and he goes, "That's my notebook, right?" And I go, "No, bro, we gotta raffle this out." And he still won, so congratulations, my brother! He's such a model citizen. He gave you the ticket, right? Everybody else has just come here, brother. Wait. Second half. Hold on. Your pen cap. All right. Now, second is our Saving Your Future book. How many people have read the Saving Your Future book? Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't know, I emailed you, a couple of you in here, this book, and you didn't raise your hand, so good, awesome. Want to hide something, put it in the book. All right. 3, 3, 3, 5, 9, 7. 3, 3, 3, 5, 9. Let's go, brother. Come to the stage. Let's go. You got 1 hour. Y'all present. Is there a presentation ready? You got to present for 1 hour. No book for you. All right. Awesome. Congratulations. All right. Yeah. We got you. Great. I'm going to do this one, and everybody's just going to come up acting like they have the ticket, right? So, last raffle, we're going to do Johnny Walker for those that drink, right? Responsibly, of course. Hopefully this weekend you don't get too crazy. All right. Ready? 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, 9. 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, 9. 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, 9. Who's that? Who? Which one? You guys gonna fight? What are we doing?